Yeah, we're not doing that no more. Look, almost halfway done the test though, and it crashed. It's definitely the streaming while doing it. It's just too much for SimBench. You can do other tests though than SimBench tests. My bad, everybody. My bad. What I'm gonna do is actually this. Oh, excuse me. We're gonna do this. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna set some stuff up here. But again, my apologies. I should have known not to do it. Some benches while streaming is just not a smart thing. You can crash. Halfway done at that time, so I need a little bit more voltage on the E's. But that's okay. It's okay. Pop a window. Display cap. No, display capture. Window capture. There we go. Yeah, same thing. I should have put more voltage on the E's, but I'm not gonna do sim bench. While stream it's just too much. Yeah, push it to the legit max. Just remember, watch your temperatures. That's all you gotta do. Make sure you're watching your temperatures. That's the main thing. Yeah, my apologies, everybody. I should have known sim bench while streaming on the same PC is too much. I put like only P cores 6 hertz and E cores disabled. Wow, 14700K. Yeah, sounds about right. But yeah, the disabling the E cores will just make it so the P cores can go higher just because the temperature, right? Core voltage up by 5 amp, core 90, and it's running stable. That's good. I don't like my temperatures up that high, to be honest. That's my opinion, though. That is my opinion, and whatever you like to do, basically. Core 90. Oh, core 90, it's running stable. Oh, nice. Nice, 650 mem. That's pretty good. For what are you doing though? Are you still doing Time Spy? Time Spy is a good one to be testing for games in that. So if you can get there, it'll work on most games. I don't know, 50%. I would do auto, or have it up to like 75. To be honest, yeah, Time Spy. Yeah, Time Spy is DX12 test. Fire Strike's DX11. Yeah, I think I got my 13900 KF to 6.3 or 6.4 gigahertz on the P's, and the E's I was like 4.8 gigahertz, something like that. You might have to redo the test. That's all. Sometimes the test you might have to redo it to get better CPU utilization basically. Sometimes your system's trying to use more your cores or threads somewhere else, and then all of a sudden you run the test and it hits the CPU intensive part, it'll try to take away the cores. So that's why you get jumping cores all the time. So sometimes you have to redo it no matter what. Actually, don't know what test I should be doing now though. So I can't do sim bench right now. Sim bench is just way too much. Lower by 300. Not terrible. Just rerun the test. Let your system cool down a little bit and then just redo the test. Check out picture from Mo. Check it out. Next to you, what the power mode you use for benchmark. Power mode? What do you mean? I don't do any power modes or anything like that. Power mode? You mean like the turbo boost power time windows and processor core ICC max? Or the benchmarking? What do you mean? So I always use the advanced tuning. The setting tab? Setting tab? Oh, yeah, you want to use high performance, of course. So like your power, your max step size, 125 milli, like that will just show, like down below you got your active power plan, and of course you gotta use high performance mode, and then you gotta use restore tuning after reboot. Unclick that one. Power, you can just set it so like you can go faster up by just clicking. Doesn't really matter, but high performance mode, of course. Yeah, because your CPU utilization would be close to 100%. As long as you in Windows as well, you have to set in Windows itself high performance mode. But for like hardcore overclocking, like I said, that's you have to make sure all limits are off, so that way it's full CPU utilization, full GPU utilization. So you have to go into whatever GPU you're using, make sure all the parameters are set for max performance. You'll get better scores because everything will be ready to go for that test. Or your GPU will already be set at a higher spec rate off the bat without doing anything. It'll be a higher spec. Then as soon as it jumps to the load, it only has to jump a little bit instead of going all the way from down below and going boom up. So you're already here, then it just jumps a little bit. So that way you get automatic better performance. Your temperature. It's your temperature. Yeah, Intel still has its Intel Boost 3.0 and 2.0 in place no matter what. So you gotta watch your temperature. So if your temperature is above 80 degrees Celsius, you automatically get worse results. So if you set it to normal, then your CPU temperature won't go too high. It won't jump up too high. If it jumps up too high, it will be better because Intel's boosts. It's boost algorithm. That's Intel. NVIDIA has its own. AMD has its own. But it's always about temperature wise, temperature and core voltage and what frequency you're at. I went through this many streams and videos too. So if you want to learn some more stuff, just I don't know, put notification on, watch some more videos, watch some more streams of mine. While you're sleeping too, don't matter. Maybe you'll retain some stuff while you're sleeping. I like to do that sometimes. My max temp are like 85 on some core on a hot day. Yep. So you're hitting Intel's boost algorithm, so it's automatically not going to give you a better score. I like to stay around 75 degrees Celsius max, or when I'm doing my hardcore overclocking, right around that 50 to 60 C. And I could be up to 5.5 gigahertz on my, or let's say my 13900K, I'll be up to maybe like 75 C max temperature, and I'll be up 6.4 gigahertz on the P cores, and all the E cores up to about 4.8 gigahertz. but I also lap my CPUs, lap the IHS, lap the uh, cooler as well, and I'm using a pretty hefty cooler on a 360 mil AIO. And then when I'm doing my hardcore overclocking, I'm gonna use more radiators, so I'll use a 240 mil radiator attached to this one. We'll see what happens this year. Yeah. Is top 25s in the world good for my PC? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it stays at 5.4p and 4.8 full of these. You can't complain about it. Yeah, 360 deep cool. I don't know what that is. I don't know what 360 deep cool IT 720. Is that like an AIO? Oh, Dabatron. We also got a Discord. If you want to click the Discord link, it's an AIO. Okay. 360 though. 360 is good. I got a where's my other box? GPU box. Gamerstorm. That's it. The brand Gamerstorm. I got a Gamerstorm 360. Yeah, I got a Gamerstorm AIO 360 millimeter, and I got a Gamerstorm 120 millimeter AIO from 8 years ago. It's an old one. It's still pretty good for 120. But the 360 is really nice too. You can make your own custom hologram basically. So it's like a little chip you put on the inside and you put a cap over it. When it lights up, it's like a hologram. So like you can look at it any way you want. You can 3D print your own. You can put stickers on top of it, make it look cool. Yeah, it's very cheap. It only costs like I think it was like $75 at the time. Nah, I think they're more now. I still use my yeah. You could crash a lot, man. It's all trial and error for some things, and then once you start because you remember if you're running these tests over and over and over, make sure you have let your everything cool down so that way the actual thermodynamics is around the same temperature where you started the tests instead of going over and over and the thermodynamics is heat sinked into all of the components. Your PCBs hold heat, capacitors hold heat, the metal around your PC holds heat, everything holds heat, so you gotta let it wick away. I still use my trusty Corsair 5000D airflow case. I'm still using my trusty EVGA DG76 case, I believe it is. It's an old EVGA case. Cost me $45 back in the day, and I'm still using it today. I got a bunch of cases. So I got Antec P100 silent case it's an old PC case. I got some other PC cases. I got minor cases like for like GPUs, just so I can build something in that someday because the cooling on those are insane. I got a 3 unit server case as well, an actual server case, not like a minor style case. But I want to get like an actual rack someday, like an actual server rack, build like a GPU type system on one, build a CPU type system or a hard drive system on another. Like I said, I got my own dual CPU server. It's an older one, uses LGA 1366, but still dual CPU. So I got that one, get all set up too. Build my own DASs, so custom built DASs. If you want to check that video, custom built DAS or DAS build 1, DAS build 2. It's direct attached storage. It's literally hard drives in a small Lenovo M710E case, like a really small case. And yeah, I put that in there, and it's really good. And then it's powered by itself, so you plug it in with the power supply built into the actual hard drive case. All the hard drives get plugged in that power supply instead of going off your PC. It's really nice. I want to make it better someday, like kind of like my monitor, right? I want to make it all out of aluminum instead of having it made out of cardboard and tape, like a mock-up. But yeah. Also soldered on a fan to the back of this motherboard, by the way. There's ways to figure out power delivery from certain things, and you can add on fans to make them cooler, make them last longer. What are some good settings for control panel? Just max performance. If you want max performance, you got to make sure you have the cooling though. Make sure everything's staying cool. If everything's staying cool, put everything to max performance on the control panel. In Windows, make sure everything's set to max performance. That's all you got to worry about really. If you want to make sure your system's running at full specs, that's like what's the best way to optimize max performance. Just put max performance, and then everything will be tuning afterwards. If you had a motherboard where you can actually tune stuff, or in a CPU, like a K variant CPU or a Ryzen X variant CPU. There's other ways to overclock, like BCLK overclocking, but it overclocks all the components on the motherboard, so it's not recommended because you can destroy a GPU, you can destroy your RAM, you can destroy your, more or less, your SSD or NVMe drive will have failure. Welcome to the channel. There's no way to optimize max performance. You just set the parameters to max performance. There's also ways, like I said, you can go into like your NVIDIA control panel. I'm gonna buy a CPU and mobile soon, so should I get the 99? It's not i7, it's i9 9900K, not i7, i9. And Z series Pro motherboard. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a Pro. It just needs to be a Z series. But if you get the i7, it'll be the i7 9700K. Still a good CPU. Nothing wrong with it, man. Nothing wrong with it. I had the 99K. It was a beast. Very hot and easily overclockable to 5 gigahertz though, or 5.2 if you have the right cooling. 8 core, 16 thread CPU. Good for overclocking DDR4 RAM. Make sure you get Samsung B die if you can get some Samsung B die. Patriot Vipers make some good CL19 kits. Yeah, CL19 kits at 4,000 megatransfers per second, and yeah, Samsung B die. Fairly good price too. Yeah, it's basically a 10700K. Yep. Yeah, those 10 series too. Those 10900s were pretty hot. 12900K really hot. The 13900KF that I had was pretty hot too. But 24 cores, you kind of expect it to be hot. Even on a 360 mil custom water loop, it was pretty toasty. If you get that, I'm gonna overclock the hell of it, and I just want max performance from it. Yeah, 5 gigahertz will be a nice one for you on your cooler. 5 gigahertz, 1.325 volts, I believe it used, or 1.35 volts, somewhere around there, 1.325 or 1.35 volts, which isn't terrible for 5 gigahertz all core. Keep in mind those get, yeah, that's why I like my i9s though, because i9s are for enthusiasts that want to overclock, not for basic people that don't know anything about tuning. Because if you start tuning it, you don't realize you're gonna be drawing a lot of wattage. My 13900K max wattage was like 630 watts. 630 watts. Just the CPU. Just the CPU. Some insanely cool thermal paste. Nah, your cooler's good. But yeah, big shout out again to my donators. I got the MX4 by Arctic here. Put it on my CPU. Seems to be just fine. Not even sure. Dave's saying it's 18 degrees in here. CPU seems to be running at a very good temperature. So I'm ready to go. Ready to go. M6, nice. I generally use Thermal Grizzly Extreme Cryonaut, but it's too expensive for me this year because it's like $180. It will be almost $200 for a little jar of it for me, 35 or no 38 gram jar, and $200 right now for me is just too much. So yeah, but my GPU, my 3070 Ti, is all ready for with Thermal Grizzly Extreme Cryonaut. is done up with it. So I'm hoping I can get another record this year on it. I do have the fastest 3070 Ti in the world right now. It has more records than most 3070 Ti's. I can overclock the RAM all the way, the slider 2000 plus, get 11,500. Well, I can probably show that. I know I won't crash with that. I should do that. I know I won't crash with that. Which test did I do? Do Vantage? Should I do Vantage or some Geekbench? Do some Geekbench. Geekbench. 5. Or 4. 4 has it too, I believe. But 5 I know it does, and 6 does. Yeah, here we go. We done. Okay, yep, make sure. Oh, there we go. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. A cooler Skillman's Hyper 212 black edition with a different fan. Yeah, I know. You showed me that. You showed me that on your on the rating people's PCs. I had to properly repaste the card because they hadn't been put by a machine at factory and had perfect. Oh yeah, yeah. If you got temp, never open a card. Yeah, if you got a good temperature, you don't need to open your card. Not for at least 3 or 4 years of owning it, and then if the temperatures are pretty hot from always having it, the thermal paste will dry out and you'll just lose performance that way. But we'll go into here, small size mode. That'll work. We can do here. Make sure we can see. MSI Afterburner. Crank the fan speeds here. So I don't know if you saw that. Memory. So again, I have a really good 3070 Ti. Has multiple records on it. It will go up to 11,501 megahertz on the RAM, GDDR6X RAM. Core clock I can do about 265, but since I'm streaming and the cores are all messed up while I'm streaming, I'll just keep it low. Memory doesn't really matter, but I can run a compute test here. Just to show you, this is a GPU benchmark, by the way, that utilizes core and memory. So the better the memory and core frequencies, the better the test. I like Geekbench 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. 468,825 on my... Where is it? There it is. Oh, maximum frequency on it is only 1.8. I can get my 3070 Ti up to 2.3 gigahertz. And what we'll do here is go hardware bot 468,825. Ti. Go to Geekbench 4. There we go. How's that? Not good enough? Whoops. 4688. Yep, I already beat my score just with that. And I'm on air. Tractor here will be pretty high. Tractor has a good card too, but he's actually got a 13900K off, which will actually help his performance. I got a 12600K. He's at 6 gigahertz. I'm at 5, so it helps quite a bit. But yeah, just by doing that, I already beat my previous score. I can run more tests, of course, at that speed. Some more harder tests, I have to go down to about 1800 on the overclock on the RAM. the VRAM. Still, pretty good. Memory temp, I got them copper modded, so the max temperature I'll see during testing is like 60 C maybe. Maybe. Not the 110 C everyone else will see. Splave. Team Weg. Splave. That's why I want more hardware. I just want to own every CPU, every motherboard, every RAM kit, every GPU, so that way I can be up around them as well. But Canada, top 5 in Canada overall in my division, I'm first place. I haven't touched any dry ice or liquid nitrogen. My 3070 Ti beats 6000 XT and 6900 XT that have been put on liquid nitrogen. So all you AMD fanboys, literally I'm whooping 6000 XTs and 6900 XTs that are on liquid nitrogen. My card is on air. Modded, mind you, but still on air. I'll try to test to see. I never tried before. Oh, that test to see. Geekbench 4. So you want to try Geekbench 3, which is CPU memory. Um, I'll show you when I have not streaming on it. When I'm using another PC and using the capture card, I'll show you. Geekbench 3. Geekbench 3, it's very good to know your memory performance. It has memory test that has single and multi on the memory. If your memory test is scoring around 14,000 and up, your memory is very good. Like the tuning is very good. Well, yeah, my 3070 Ti is whooping their top end on liquid nitrogen. Mine's on air, stock. Well, copper modded. Well, it's modded a bit, but they're using liquid nitrogen. Mine's on air. I don't know what else tests I should do. I'm so ready for this competition. So ready for it. Yeah. I went through 4 cards to get it. So bought a couple cards right off the bat. Spent a lot of money on a couple cards. Modded them. Figured out what RAM chip they were running. So GDDR6 microns is the best, by the way, for GDDR6X micron. And fuck you, Hart. Get out of here. Oh, you know I'm ready. You know I'm fucking ready. I'm gonna place. I don't know. Again, this is Canada, so everyone in Canada. It's not like I'm against everyone in Canada. We're participating together, everyone in Canada. So hopefully we can play as good. Because right now we're 5th overall, which not the greatest, but that's generally where we are. 5th or 3rd place overall at the end of the year. That's why I would like more hardware components, PC hardware components. Base file speed is at 2.1 and nothing higher. If I could get up to 3.7, I would get rid of a good amount of them. Yeah, probably, most likely. Yeah, so I'm ready for this competition. I need to grab some stuff still though, but we'll see. See, I gotta find a G6900 for cheap, or maybe find a really cheap motherboard AMD, and I don't want to, but AMD is part of overclocking. Everything is all overclocking, so I have to. I'm not like I'm judgmental and saying AMD sucks. Like I said, AMD on some things are good. A couple things, just a couple things. And for competitions and that, all the hardware, everything you own is better. I own a lot. I can show you what I have. I have a lot of hardware, but not enough, man. Just not enough. God, man. Yeah, massage into a K. Turn it into an i5 8600K. That's what it would do. So we'll go back here. So we'll go into my hardware. Again, I do own a bit of hardware. Graphics cards. These are UHD, so these don't matter, but then yeah, different 3070 Ti's, whatever. One's an Intel, it says, but it's not. 2080 Super, only have one, so do have a few though. 9600 GT, 9000 GT, 240, 610, 1070. Had a 1080, not anymore. 1080 Ti though I do. GTX 770 right here. 2080 Super, I already showed you. 3070 Ti. So got a few motherboards. 8 on this one here. Z6 Oris Master, Z390 Phantom Gaming S, never buy it by the way. Sabertooth Z77. I also have a Asus Z97. I don't have a 4th gen Intel CPU like a 4770K or 4790K. Hopefully here soon. I would like one. A couple of like cheaper board. This is a good one for LGA 1366. A P6 X58-E is pretty good. I can change rails on the actual motherboard itself, like actual rails, pinout. So that way I can put over 2 volts in CPU, over 2 volts into the RAM, 2 volts into the QPI data link, which really helps, especially if you're doing liquid nitrogen, right? DX58SO, which is an Intel board, very good. And these are a couple cheaper boards. Memory, DDR3, Samsung's. I got Samsung, Hynix, Nanya, and some other brand for DDR3, but my Samsung's my best one. Not a good kit. You can pick each stick up for $6. They're not good. Patriot Viper, these are Samsung DDR4, Samsung B-Die. These are Viper still by Patriot. So Patriot Viper Steel DDR4, they're 4000 CL19. That's how you know they are Samsung B-Die by Patriot. If you want to buy Samsung B-Die and start overclocking. The board I was on was crap. I can only put 1.35 volts onto the RAM, so it was absolutely trash. Corsair, these are Corsair. These are Corsair. I have multiple kits, but I use my Hynix M-Die kit, which is not Dominator Platinum. They're the Dominator Titaniums. Disk is my 980 Pro 2 terabyte, and my power supply right now I'm using is the EVGA Supernova 850 watt gold. So I got some hardware, but not that much. Not that much. Which one? Oh, I'm a little far back. Yeah, you will live stream the. Yeah, I'm gonna be live stream. So while I'm not using my main PC, while I'm overclocking my main PC, I'll be using a different PC, so I can just use a video capture card. So that way, if I crash, I don't crash the stream like I did yesterday. I used a video card and used it on my P6 board there that you saw, LJ 1366 board. Mine 468,825. This is not a good overclock on my CPU, by the way. It's only 5 gigahertz and 4.21 E. It's a 12600K too, so not that good. But 468,800. Strike Heart gotta beat the living hell of it. So, yeah. Is For the Win 3 the cooler type? Yeah. For the Win? Yeah. No, well, it's the model. It's the model. You can get For the Win AIOs, For the Win 2s, which is the cooler type, For the Win 3, which is the 3 fan blade. But For the Win is the model type. For the Win 2 is the actual cooler type. For the Win 3 is a 2 just means 2 fan, 3 means 3 fan. For the Win is just an actual, their top line. Okay, I did 517,324 stock GPU. Nice. That's a 3090, right? Yeah, 4 to Win 3 are the best. They are. They really are the best. That they are. Like my 2080 Super's For the Win. It's a hydro copper though. Very, very rare card. Yeah. Yeah, it's good for a 3080. But your CPU is also helping you. You're getting more performance out of your GPU. I'm technically bottlenecked with my CPU, even though it's overclocked at 5 gigahertz. I have to be around right around 6 gigahertz to not bottleneck it. So my 13900K was really good for that. Didn't bottleneck it. But my 12600K is really good for overclocking RAM. I get what? I think I got 8400 megatransfers per second on it. Not good timing. It's very loose timings but for max frequency, it's pretty good, especially on a 4-DIMM motherboard. Just a Z690 OS Master. Not like I had the Apex. I wish I did, but I didn't. And they're literally like a $1,200 motherboard here in Canada, so really hard to get one when they cost that amount of money. And I want more hardware than just to have better hardware. I'd rather have more hardware than better. But what I'm gonna do is this. I am still here, by the way, so if anyone has any questions, let me know. I'm just gonna go into floating cloud boy mode and just read chat. Another way you can test your like GPU if you use GPU Z. So if you can see this GPU Z here, GPU Z, which you need for validations during the competition, you can use this GPU Z. Boom, right here. And down here you'll see bus interface. I'll let you know the bus interface, and then you can just go 16 by 2. Oh, that's just right here. That's what it's actually at. It's not. This is a lie. This is a lie. But you use this, which is a renderer, so you can see what your hold on overclock is. So here, then we can do the 2000 on the memory, right? So we'll do the 2000 on the memory. Hopefully everyone can see this. 2000 on the memory. And then we use the renderer part. Start render test. You'll see 11,502 megahertz. That's how you know you'll get, because it puts a strain on the actual GPU. That will help let you know if it's fairly stable or not. And if it is stable here, just lower it a bit beforehand, doing a test. Lower it quite a bit, and then you can see if you can get up to this right here. I went to 532,989 by just pushing. Yep. Yeah. Because memory will help you a lot. Memory will help you quite a bit. So if I do Geekbench 4 again, big increase, yeah. Later. But yeah, no, that's because he has a better CPU too. It will utilize more of it. We'll go back to MSI. Crank that all of the flow. Crank that. Give me some more. Crank that. Crank that. Whoa. Oh. There we go. Oh, yours already put to its max? Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. See if I can get around 490,000 to 500,000 with my 3070 Ti. And 12600K. Nope. I'm also streaming too, so I gotta probably do the test a couple times. Actually, we'll see if we lower it right down, see if it does the test better. We'll try that. Oh, I can add up almost 300. I can almost do 300 on my core on air. Okay, so I did lower the score by lowering the core, so we'll have to figure out where the core likes it. So the core will probably like it around at least a plus 150. Should. I'm on air right now, so that's a plus 150 on the core, plus 2,000 on the memory. So I'm doing 2.1, almost 2.2 gigahertz right now. Nope, not good enough for me. We'll do 200 on the core, 2,000 on the memory. That probably won't do nothing, but we'll try that. I mod all my hardware's modded. No, I mod all my cards. Modify them, put hardware mods on them. No software mods, all hardware mods. Plus, I use Micron. For GDDR6X, Micron memory is your best. Yeah, so I need to overclock my CPU more. Actually, I could probably do that right now. Active, we'll do one of them up to here. We'll do this down. We'll do this one down. 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 We'll put the voltage to this one. Voltage override. 0.365. Go. Just showing you guys a little something about a little something right now. Processes we want here. Details. High. Change. Infinity. Should be able to just do CPU 0. Yeah, I want to get top 3 on this test though. This before the end of the World Cup. Right now I'm top 5 for this competition. Debloater? Yeah, I strip my windows down and use certain things only while doing certain tests. Yeah, it does. Nope, I used the wrong core there, so we gotta go back. Used the wrong core. This is the hard part about doing setting the actual process, or affinity, I mean. Figuring out the right core. Yeah, you can do all, like, debloat everything. Just use strictly whatever test. You can strip your windows down. I strip my windows down. Nope, still not good enough. A little bit higher, but not good. I want higher. I want like 5,000, right around 5,000. But I'm using a 12600K, so I probably won't even get it. That's cool. With 64 gigabyte configuration. Oh yeah. I use 48 gigabyte configuration. Better overclocking. Hynix A die 32 or 48 gigabytes better for overclocking. M die don't really matter. 48 gigabytes generally what. Disconnected. That's odd. Whatever. I'm back though. Oh. Well, nah. Well, not really. The more you have, the better. The faster you have, the better. The better timings you have is better. Okay, so you have a 14700K, right? Right? Try to beat this 7-zip score. $110,000. I did it on a 12600K. Try to beat this score. Yeah, you probably will be right around this score with the RAM you have. Here's mine with the timings. I can do CL32 though, because now I'm on the right BIOS, so I can do CL32. That's why I use F28 on my Z690. 69 on load. Right here. Boom. 700 or 110,445. 5.4 gigahertz on P, 4.3 on the E. But it's the RAM. The RAM really helped me on this test. It's only 24th overall, but it's 8. Yeah, your RAM is like, there's only so much that can be used into it. The more that like games or editing and stuff, certain blenders too, like want more RAM basically. Simulation games want more cores and more RAM, not frequencies. Just more cores, more RAM. That's because it can cache more processing into the actual RAM. Then all those cores can take all that and actually utilize it. Whereas some games just want pure frequency, single core, dual core, core frequency with really fast RAM, so it can benefit your frames there. Yeah, you can't have. Yeah, you're right. Got to have really good tweaked up RAM, and you got to have some pretty good, decent hardware. That's why the hardware bot here, it's all the tests are based off of cores for your CPU. So like we'll go like I like my Super Pi, so we'll go Super Pi. 15 seconds on a 13900KF. I needed more time with this CPU, but 42 on load, 6.2 gigahertz, not very good. RAM, not very good. CL30, 40, 40, 40. It's all right. It could have been CL32, 40, 40, 32, and that would have been better. And then my primary or secondary timings, I could have tightened better too. But 5 second, 181 milliseconds. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Another good one that I used it on, R23. Yeah, R23, 44,166. 5.9, 4.7, 100 on load. Using my really crappy RAM. RAM on Cinebench tests don't matter. Your RAM can be like tuned down all the way. Just make sure your CPU is cranked. Uh, 67 frames per second for my 13900, 106.71 frames per second on my 10 core CPU. Had at 5442 RAM. But I'm also against people who are using liquid nitrogen, and I'm up around the liquid nitrogen scores. So that's all that matters to me is I'm on water, and I'm up around liquid nitrogen. As soon as I get to the liquid nitrogen, I'm going to be a beast. An absolute menace. Hey, what is up there, man? Hopefully I pronounced that somewhat correct. All CPU cores, different. You can be like and get a good one. Somewhat. A lot of people say the K versions are better than KF, but KF versions are better for overclocking. How many total years of overclocking? About 9, but on hardware bot only 3. This would be my 3rd year. Yeah. I did a lot on 3D Mark, but never did hardware bot. Then I got into hardware bot and was like, dang, I don't even compare to these guys, and I just hunkered down. I got thousands of hours just on DDR5 RAM overclocking, like thousands. You play games? I don't play games. I overclock, but I can do overclocking for games if you would need help on that. We also have a Discord link, so if you want to hit the Discord link and join the Discord, I'll help you out there too. Across 14, that could even do. But no. Okay, so no. Dab, sorry to say this, but it's the Windows versions that you're using. Certain Windows versions at a certain time made it so the CPU couldn't was trash. So that was the reason why. There's performance issues for sure. For what? What do you talk about there, Joe? Or other way around. What do you mean? Yeah, you gotta figure out your own systems. Not every system's the same. Nothing's built the same. Nothing is ever built the same. GPU, CPU, RAM, motherboards are not all built the same. People say, you know, I have some pretty good stuff, but I mean, like, I've modified it, I've gone through stuff, I fixed stuff up, I've bought and used stuff that didn't even work, fixed it up, and made it top tier. So you can add stuff, add components onto previous components and make it better. It's all about your knowledge in that. But I do multimeter stuff. I solder components onto it, like SMTs, capacitors, and all of that, so I can get better scores. That the reason you got the good score on the 3070, you just happened to get. No, I bought 4 of them. And I sold 3 of them to miners that wanted their memories, their memory chips, copper modded. So I kept a good one. It's not even top tier. It's only a Zotac Amp Hollow. It's not even a top tier card. It's not their extreme. It's not like EVGA's 4 to win 3s. It's not a top tier. It's a medium tier 3070 Ti that I modified to make it one of the best. It literally has records on it and is one of the best 3070 Ti's out there. Yeah, it matters about the core, but my core isn't technically the best. 4 to win 3 cores are hand-picked, specially cored GPUs, that GPU cores that get put onto a very nice motherboard PCB for the GPU, which makes the core even better. Yeah, they're all the same cores, yeah. But not all cores are the same, bro. So all cores could be the same, but not all cores can overclock the same. So if you go into MSI Afterburner, you can also, apparently I'm still at the 2200 overclock there. Oops. So Your power limit on some cards will be higher or lower, but all those model of cards will only be limited to that power limit. Core voltage on 30 series doesn't do nothing. But I mean, for the memory, if you have GDDR6 micron memory, you can probably do about 1200 or 1300. If you copper mod it, you might be able to do 1500 or something like that. I can do 2000. I handpicked my card though. I got the best of the 4 that I bought. Core clock. Some can do only 75, or some can do 200. Some can do, like mine, 272 on most tests. I can do over 2.3 gigahertz on mine. But mine's not the best core. There's better people like Tractor who has a better card. He has just a better card. It doesn't mean it's the same core. It is the same core, but it's a better one. It's an actual better make. It can handle more. It can do more. It can process better. And some will do a higher, same model. Yeah. Yes. Some will do same on the same models. But if you have a higher tier card, same core, so the Extreme, the Amp Hollow Extreme, it's automatically clocked higher and a better core. It's a hand-picked core on the Extremes, like the EVGA for the Win 3s. They're hand-picked, put onto specific PCBs that are perfectly made PCBs that are perfect, like top tier. That's what you want, is the top tier. This is not top tier. The 3070 Ti is not top tier that I have. That's why I don't have all the records. I have records on all the ray tracing because it's only good really for the ray tracing because of my memory, not the core. Yes, stupid record like that I want. I want all the records. I want all the hardware. I want all EVGA old cards is all I get. Only EVGA. SC for the Win 3 models or SSC models, the super clocked ones, even more super clocked than this one, are the ones I want because they have the better core and they have the better PCB. That's what I want. I want the best, or I just want more hardware so I can maybe modify it to make it better, but it won't still be as good as the top tier ones that have been modified or are, right? So that's why certain cards, certain stuff like CPUs, all CPUs are different. Doesn't matter they're the same CPU. If you have a stepping 2, it's not going to be the same as a stepping 0. Okay? Like, so if you know anything about steppings, then you'll know a little bit more than some people about CPUs. I don't know. I fixed this one up, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I have to repaste it or what. It's the scores are crap. The core, I don't know, maybe it's something with the core. The core's something's wrong with the core. My scores are not good, man. Not good on it. Like they're overclocking like crazy. Like the frequency's higher than most, but it's literally the scores are crap. I'm not happy about it. But we'll see. We'll see. I might put it on some water. Nah, this Windows is a really good Windows version that I stripped down. It's not fully stripped down like I'm going to be doing for the competition, but I don't update. My updates are off. Mine's put to a certain version of Windows 10, or actually this is Windows 11. A certain version of Windows 11 still though, not top one, but Windows 10, I use a certain Windows 10 version. I'm not saying because there is a certain version of Windows 10 Pro that works like Vista, basically. So, like, I'll get way better scores than everybody else on my newer systems or, like, newer components. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Oh, buggy. Well, maybe it's probably because something's gone on it and they don't realize that's, like I said, capacitor or certain SMT's gone or one MOSFET on the like parallel or a rail of MOSFETs is gone. One MOSFET on like an actual series of MOSFETs going is fine, but if you have one that go, it might crash at some things or it won't like certain stuff. I was gonna ask if you could run like 8 or something, but you said 10. Yep. Yeah. Well, 10, and so Windows 10 Pro that I use, a certain version, and if you look, you should be able to see what version it is, but um, you can delete certain portions of the Windows as well. So the Windows 10 portions of the Windows, and it'll run like Windows 8 as well. But it also runs better than the Windows 8. I'll be showing at some point too to like how you can do certain things like that too. Like how people are wondering how I ran a my 1900 GTO on it's a Mac card, but I ran it on Windows. They're like, well, how you do that and all this? Like on Windows 10, I ran on Windows 10. Well, you delete certain portions of the Windows 10. You install a driver that's not made for it, but as long as you're not running any tests right off the bat, you can install a different driver. You can install the actual Radeon uh, driver, like support whatever Radeon program, so that way you can search up the actual driver for it and you install it from there, and you can actually make it work. It takes a while to make it work, but you can make it work. There's always a way around something. No, no, definitely not, man. You cannot show all your tricks. Like if I start showing all my tricks and all these people get put theirs up there and let's say they have liquid nitrogen. Like I said, I'm up on liquid nitrogen scores. On most of my tests, I'm up around liquid nitrogen. I'm on water or air. So I try to just tell people the best ways to do things and hopefully they'll learn their own ways around it. Like I did. Like I said, thousands upon thousands of hours. Oh, whoops. Guess I'm just showing a screen. There we go. Not cannot show you all your tricks like them zombie boards. I want to get into zombie boards, but I need more old hardware so I can do the zombie boards and show people how to do it, and they can maybe do it. They're cool. They can make get way more performance. They have a zombie board. No, I'm not top dog. Nah, nah, not right now. Like I said, fifth place in Canada, first place in my division. But the States is better, and then there's some really good overclockers in Australia as well that do nothing but liquid nitrogen. If you want to see someone that's like one of the top dogs, search up LUUMI on YouTube. He does nothing but liquid nitrogen. His videos are not like mine. He just will basically show a little bit of that and then some music, and then he runs through it all real quick, like with some music going, and then oh yeah, yeah, it's fun to know stuff. I know a lot about a lot, not just PC hardware. Like I said, you gotta learn about voltage and electronics, and um, yeah, you also gotta learn about thermodynamics on some things. That's why I got Dave. That's why I got Dave to see what temperatures I'm working around. I got thermal probes for everything. Like I said, you gotta learn about multimeters. You gotta use a multimeter. You gotta learn electronics, or not electronics, but electricity. Oh, Hart's still here? You crazy bastard. How's your night going there, Hart? Mm. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Yeah, it's not just, oh, click a button and this and that and everything's good. No, I have a lot of voltages set up and temperatures ready for when I do get in liquid nitrogen. It's just really expensive for all the stuff for it. Liquid nitrogen's cheap, dry ice is cheap. It's going. Good job, man. That's the main thing. It's going. You fix up whatever you're fixing up, or what's up? Are you back at your PC yet? They're overclocking it all, or what's up? But yeah, you gotta learn a lot of stuff. It's not just click and drag and hope for the best. It's you gotta have your temperature around area. You gotta know the moisture contents. Nah, dang, that sucks. You gotta know the moisture contents. Like moisture right now, if I went to really cold temperatures, would be absolute nightmare. Yeah, I will be getting into that eventually. When I get into it, I'm gonna be crushing records. I have records on air that are beating liquid nitrogen, so I'm gonna be crushing records. Like world records is what I want to crush. So I have to get, always the best CPU and GPU and motherboard basically every single year or every time one comes out, I have to get that one to keep the world records. It's like $10,000 every time something else comes out, basically. Like these top tier CPUs, like these top tier Threadrippers, these top tier Xeons are not cheap. They're literally like $7,000 to $10,000 just for the CPU. So it's like then you gotta get the motherboard. Those motherboards are $3,000 to $4,000. It's wild. It really is wild, man. Because I broke my 12900K, my 13900KF with a direct die. Shut up, heart. So never use a direct die and never use liquid metal, especially if you're trying to do low temperature, because liquid metal is not good for it. Yeah. So literally about $2,000 worth of CPUs, all because I used a direct die. Yep, rip. Oh, hold on. $12,900K. Oh, I guess my 13900K is in here. Back in the box. 12900K. It was not the lapping of the IHS. It was not the lapping of the actual. Fuck, actually, I don't even care about that. I don't. It's not the actual lapping of the CPU die itself, because I do lap my GPUs, like the actual dies, the cores, the silicon. It was the direct die that killed all these. There's the lapped on one side, lapped on the other, perfectly matching the actual die itself, and yeah. It was the direct die that actually broke it, so it's gone. Yeah, so don't be using that crap. No liquid metal and no direct dies. It's no good. No good. I got it all still. Still got them all. The 13900K is like, it renders a little bit more of through the actual codes and that, and it gets close to actually doing something, but I'm pretty sure it's just because it's cracked through one of the cores and it's done for. 12900K doesn't stand a chance. It's like, no, thank you. Thank you. Try again. Oh, you tried again. Try again. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it basically shorted itself. Yeah, he did nothing wrong. Nah, I didn't. Nah, no short. No short. You cracked the die. You can literally look. You can, if the camera would show, you could see the cracked die. It's not because of the direct die. It's cracked. That's why I say don't use direct dies, even if it's made for the actual CPU. You can still crack it. It's a very, very temperamental thing. Yeah, direct dice sucks. Everything was cool. Like I said, I lapped the IHS both sides, lapped the actual CPU die. That was fine. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll try these direct dies that are made for it. Like everyone says, they're really good. It worked fine. Then I took it apart. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just try some liquid metal. Tried that out. I was like, okay, that's not as good because if I do cold and that, now I'm gonna be doing cold. So I'm gonna do some cold water on the direct die. So I redid it and on the 12900K was the first one, and then I did it on the 13900K, thinking, yeah, it'll be fine. No, it's not fine. Direct dies suck, even though if it's made for it. But like I said, I blame myself for it because, like, I don't know, I should blame myself. I should have known better. Now, with earlier ones, no, because I don't know if I've shown you guys this actually. So, you see how thin the actual chips are on them? They're so thin. Like they're so thin. They're like width wise, they're really thin. They're really long, but they're also very, very thin. Like they're really thin silicon, and that's I think the problem. The 12900K there is the same about as the 13900. It's just a little bit bigger and offset on the 13900K. A little offset in that, but same thing. It's literally the same thing. It's so thin, not very wide and very long. So yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. It's like I keep saying thank you donators because like you guys helped me get the thermal paste so that way I can do more tests. This actual competition because I was running a thermal paste of my own. So like I'm ready to go for the competition still. I use the exact mount, like the right stuff. My EK monoblock that I use, it's an exact mount, so it's really nice too. But it's not direct die. I don't use direct die anymore and never will. You can get direct die kit for the monoblocks too, by the way. Don't use them. Do not use them. Please don't break your CPU. Do not even think about it. Because then, like, let's say you don't have enough mounting pressure because you're like me. It was like, okay, well, just a little bit of mounting pressure, right? A little bit. And then, oh, that was, I guess, too much because it broke it. But what if you use too little? You'll do the same thing. You'll break it, but not the same way. You're not going to break the actual die. What will happen is you're not going to get full contact on the actual direct die to the actual die itself. The die needs an actual thermal transfer. That's why there's an IHS. If the direct die and there's not enough contact to the actual direct die to the die, there could be a bald spot. If there's a bald spot and you run a load onto it, you can burn a core out or two cores out and the CPU's done. So that's why it's very temperamental. Yeah, we could just gone. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I have old CPUs too. Like that. Right, I've done my 13, my i7 3770K. Uh, I lapped the crap out of the die. I mean, it's lapped real thin. IHS same way. I lapped the IHS on the backside and the front side very well, and it's still overclocks like a mad champ. I've had it for so long. It's absolute beast. Like 5.1 gigahertz on an i7 3770K, trying to get it to 5.2 because the temperatures are really good, but I need a better motherboard. My motherboard's at its limit for the voltage for the CPU, so I can't get to 5.2 gigahertz, unfortunately. That's why you should never take no, I will always take IHS off. I will always lap my CPU die. I'll always lap the backside IHS and the front side to match, to make sure everything fits nice and snug, perfectly flat to each other. So that way there's very little thermal paste in between. So that way it's the best contact. But I will never use a direct die. I'll always use the IHS with an actual cooler or liquid nitrogen. I'll always delid my CPUs. My 12600K is delidded and lapped, but it has the IHS on it, and I'll never put a direct die on it because I don't want to break it. Yeah, it seriously is no fun, Heart. It really is. It sucks. But I mean, gotta get over it. You know, learning process on some things. Well, guess what? That was a learning process basically for me. Just I haven't had the money to replace it yet. I've been thinking about, but I don't know if I want to spend the money right now. I do have some money right now, but I don't know if I want to spend it on it. So is what I found. Every time you screw a cooler on, it's gonna be different about the paste application. Yeah, temp is the room. Yeah, for that. But I mean, big bottle or lots of thermal paste. Do not be skimpy with it. Just a lot of it, and you won't mess up. You won't mess up. You delid your CPU, and lap it and lap the IHS. What you want to do is use a little bit of thermal paste, and you want to just close it each time, peel it back off, check to see the actual contact. When you see that the contact between the IHS and the die is very, very, very minimal, like when you pull it off, it's like there's like no thermal paste. That's when you go, okay, put that on, you put it in the system, and you're good to go. It's all about what you know, though. You gotta make sure it's perfect. You can get good temp, not doing any of that, just have a nice mount. Yeah, you can get, nice mounts help, but I mean, too much paste is annoying to clean. Well, that's you, man. If you don't do extreme overclocking. My water temperature will be down to -20 to -30 degrees. My water. It's not real water. It's not water, though, of course. You can't go that low. But I mean, my cooling loop will be going that low. You need lots of thermal paste. So that way the IHS has all the cooling and the thermal paste will be touching every part of the CPU. So that way the voltage that you're putting into the actual CPU, the pads, and all the actual traces that go through the CPU are also cooled. Not just the core, but the actual traces in that. So that way everything is cooled, not just the core when you're doing this kind of stuff. When I'm putting like a lot of voltage into something, then you want to make sure everything is nice and cool. And that's the way to do it. Thermal paste or like electrical grease too. Just make sure you put it all over if you're doing liquid nitrogen, because when you do liquid nitrogen, you're literally cooling the CPU, everything around it. The RAM will be getting cooled, the GPU will be getting cooled, all the components will be getting cooled. So you gotta be really careful when you're doing that cool. Yeah, completely smooth. You gotta make sure it's real smooth. Everything matters. Everything matters. For normal use, yeah, I mean, for normal use, you can just make sure everything's covered up with thermal paste. But if you're someone that takes apart your card and cares about your graphics card or cares about stuff, you got to use a little bit more thermal paste. And don't mind cleaning it up every time you do it. You should be doing it once a year, though. Especially if you run your card hot, if you game for long periods of time. That's my opinion, though, right? I was just saying for normal use, completely smooth. Yeah, but the board gonna get cold. You put nitrogen. Yeah. I always had a ton of fans. Yeah, mine doesn't have any fans except for on the radio right now. I took out the only fan that was in it. I never have enough fans. Me too. Subscribe. Heart's my only fan out there. He'll never unsubscribe because I fixed up this GTX 770. That was our deal. He keeps threatening me that he's gonna unsubscribe, but he won't. He won't. I don't use default nothing. Sorry, man. Sorry, I just don't care. I don't use no VF curve. I don't use no default settings. I don't. Because they don't need to until they hit about 75 to 80 degrees Celsius on it. That's why. That is why. The EV, because it started back with the EVGA. The EVGA also, even though the 4-to-Win-3 had 3 fans, only 2 fans would be running until it hit a certain temperature, 65 degrees Celsius. That's when the third fan will kick in. Because memory, it has a higher, like these GDDR6X, running temperature of 110 degrees Celsius. But the components around it don't. So that's why I copper mod mine. So that way they run maximum of 65 degrees Celsius on the memory. Yeah, the GDDR6X memory has a running temperature of 110 degrees. That is its actual running temperature. Max running temperature. No, they won't melt. They're made of They're still like made of silicon and stuff, man. They might be black and all that, but they're still silicon. Yeah, 110C. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all these components that don't look like they have things like that in it, they still have silicon. They're still made of like glass or well, sand glass basically. Yeah, crazy man, eh? Yeah, Joe. Yeah, it's crazy temperature of those memory, the GDDR6X, crazy temperatures. But most memory is fine for like 85, 90C, no problem. No problem. That's why these new 285K CPUs have a max temperature of 105 now instead of 100 limit. Now they're at 105 because I don't know why. I would never run it that high, but they have a max temperature now of 105. Yeah, insane, man. The CPU, crazy, absolutely maddening. Yeah, you need to cool them under 70 to be able to OC now. That sucks. Uh, Not really, not really, but oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to have some decent cooling. Yeah, just to be safe, in my opinion, always keep your CPU under like 80C at all times. On max load would be better, and the more temperature you put in, then what the other YouTube have found yet? Not as much as me. They keep because they're sponsored, right? If you're sponsored, you're and more or less AMD sponsors all these people. I've already been talking about this. Content creators don't know how to overclock, so and they'll even and some of them that actually don't like some of them actually that tell the truth a lot, like Jay's 2 cents will even say, I don't know how to overclock, but try it. They don't know how to overclock. Us extreme overclockers that have thousands upon thousands that sit here day in, day out. Overclocking is what we do. We know what to do for certain things in that. So they always like it's okay if it's 90C. Yeah, it's just gonna throttle itself. Why even try to let it go up to that temperature to throttle itself? You're trying to get the performance. You bought this CPU for a reason. If anyone buys an i9, by the way, and they do that, you're pathetic. Stop buying stuff you don't know how to use. Jeez. You're buying thousand or well, Canadian dollars. You're buying like $1,000 CPU just for it to be less performance. Why? Why? Yeah, I would love. Yeah, yeah. Well, he's a collector though. Jay is a collector, right? He builds PCs and he's a collector of EVGA stuff. Have you seen his EVGA wall? Oh my god! I wish I could figure out the combination to his door. I want that. 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 I would love it. Love it. Somebody got a Z790 EVGA board from Kingpin. Like seriously, so awesome. So awesome in my opinion. Oh, want that up. Yeah, fuck. Like jeez. I just want all the hardware though. I want as much as I can always. So if anyone wants to donate, my PayPal is in the link in the Discord as well. There's a PayPal as well. So you always see new hardware. Maybe old hardware, but you always see new hardware. Again, thank you to my donators, thank you to my subscribers, and thank you to the people that watch my videos and like it. If you don't like it and you're watching it, well, thank you too. I mean, if you keep going here, you'll have this. Yeah, yeah, I brought it out. One tote, two tote, three tote. I can go back there, grab another tote, but it's more like cases, some more CPUs, a whole bunch of old like Intel and AMD coolers, like for the Xeons for different motherboard like different motherboard. Yeah, like so many. I got rare butterfly aftermarket air coolers. If you ever heard about the butterfly air coolers, I got one of them. Oh yeah, not a lot of people do, but I mean, I don't just do this. If I'll try to help out anybody I can. Basically, it's not like I'm like some people that want money for it. If you just ask me if I have the time for it, I'll give you what I know. Or I'll try to figure out, search something up for you that I can search up a lot faster because I'm pretty quick at it. Yep. Yeah, Colorful had some. Yep. I don't know if I have to be any good, but all depends on your power plane and what kind of capacitors you really use. If they're using Nichicon, then Japan-made capacitors. I love me some Japan-made red capacitors. If you don't know what I'm doing, that is Poopy from Rick and Morty. There was a sick 1060 and it was. Oh, really? That's awesome. That's awesome. I need a 1060. I need the 1063 gig and the 6 gig version so I can put it in my hardware list. I need the 1050 as well. I need a 1660 Super. Oh, another 1660. I had one, but I didn't do any tests on it. I need 1660 Super, 1660 Ti. I need 2070, 2070 Super, 2060. I had a 2060 Super, never did any tests on it for some reason. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good cards. Like this one here, it's such a good card, but it's performing like absolute trash. Do better. Yeah, 1060 was a really bought card. The most bought card for Steam though is the 1660. Hey, he's doing his best, right? I think for Apex Legends, if you set certain right parameters, even though Apex Legends has a maximum of 144 frames per second, you can double the frames though. Then it only utilize 144, but I get somewhere around 300 frames with my 12600K and my 3070 Ti. With my 12600K 3070 Ti and CS2, I was getting around 500, which is pretty close to most people with their like 14900Ks and 4090s. So all depends on how you know how to use it. Yeah, 7700K is nice. Ooh, a hard drive though. A hard drive would suck to be using for that game. Not gonna lie, it would suck. Oh, wrong one. And I'm here. Just give me 1 second. I'm here. I'm just going to floating mode. Oh, it'll be so slow. Everything will be slow loading, like terribly slow. On anything, it would be slow, really. You sued? You sued the. How do you sue a graphics card? You used a GTX 1060 kit up until last year. Nice. Hey, man. Some of us have to use whatever we can. I mean, oh, nice. The super clocked. That's a good card, though. Yeah, it was a good card. You cannot complain, man. That is a good card. I bought 3070, 38, 39. Just sucks the 3090 broke. Yeah, no doubt. A lot of 3090s broke, though, so that really sucks. A lot of 3090 Ti's broke as well. Why do you think EVGA got out of the graphics card business? Like I said, more power means more headache. Yeah, that sucks. Nah, it doesn't matter what game you're playing. It would have broke at some point out of a different game. Something was going in it. Something was going in it and it just went on that game, which really does suck. Yeah, because of the core. And COD doesn't utilize a lot of VRAM. You need the VRAM when you're doing like a lot of high-end editing and for simulation games, not for first-person shooters. First-person shooters is all about core speed, so 3090 would be really good for it. If you can overclock it a bit, get it close to 3 gigahertz, ooh, that'd be good. The original Xbox 360 I had the 2005 edition died when I was using like the Athlon, wasn't it? Those ones. No, I was using AMD at the time, I believe. AMD something really not heavy duty. It was a really light one. I forgot what one I was using. It was okay. Forza 3, nice, yeah. Yeah. They all had issues. Well, they had a lot of overheating issues, basically. That's why if you learned how to do the penny mod or the copper mod for certain part of it, you can keep it from doing that, from breaking. Because a lot of them did it. Or if it went before the warranty, just send it back in. Upgrade to the Jasper chip was the elite version. Oh yeah, you would have got more core frequency out of it. First 36 I used a single core. I think my MB and after was Xeon. If I'm not sure. Not sure. Probably wouldn't be a Xeon though. Would not be a Xeon. Had three variant of those and was 3 core. Yeah, it would have been that dual core CPU you can put up to. No, yeah, it would have been the 3 core that you put up to the 4 core. What one was that one? Ah, shoot. Yeah, it's not a Xeon though. It's some Pentium. Some Pentium. I forgot which one it was. That was a. Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! How's it going, Nick? How was your Halloween? Heart, you're so lucky you've been here so long. I would mute you right now. The first Xbox had a 733 megahertz Pentium 3. Yep, could literally put it. Yeah, yes you could. Put on some overclocking board too. Ooh, double the megahertz out of it. Get like 1.4 gigahertz, I believe, close to it, or 1.5. If you had some decent cooling. The Power PC was really something else. Never, don't know. What is the Power PC? Yeah, those ones there. Yeah, only on certain boards. If you had good cooling, you can get them up to like 1.4, 1. You can literally double it. Back in the old days, there, um, I could show it on like my Xeon. My Xeon's there, man. I'm close to doubling the performance. My X5570. No, my X5570. Or like even like the FX bulldozers, you can literally get way over They scaled like crap, but I mean you can get the FX from like 3 point whatever gigahertz all the way past 6 gigahertz on water. You had to have money for the 1 gigahertz. You could probably get close to 2 gigahertz or more on it probably. Yeah, man, it's insane. The old hardware, they're not made the same now because again, we're at a hardware limit. Silicon can only go so far with the copper traces that are built into it and transistors, okay? So what we're at is a hardware limit. So we have to keep raising the actual power to get more performance or add in more cores to get more performance. So that's why they're doing different testings on different materials, like nanocarbon. They're using nanocarbon in some things to see if it can work. They're using different kind of metals to see if they can actually get the voltage to be a little more stable throughout the transistors. Like it's a big thing. They just don't make them. Yeah, they really don't make them like they used to, man. Those old 14 nanometer CPUs were pretty good too. Yep, it's absolutely insane. It sucks that we're kind of at the hardware limit, though. Nah, gotta lie. Like it really does. But it is what it is. I mean, there's gotta be some sort of limit sometime, right? So, whoops. Guess I can do that. Yeah, like the 14th Intel Core AI 285K has AI. But now Intel is implementing their new procedure because of the motherboard manufacturer. So let's say you overclock it and go to the extreme OC mode and you try to warranty it. You can't because there's going to be a cached file saved into the chip itself that as soon as they plug into a hardware, it's going to go, oh, it's been on this mode. Okay, no warranty. You can thank the motherboard manufacturers for that, by the way. Yep, I hear you. Yep, something Moore's Law. You got that right. Gotta love Moore's Law. AMD's been doing that since the beginning. So, and look at them. As long as you got good marketing and can pay people to say bad things about the better brands, then you'll always have a better like stock value in that. Even though Intel has the majority of the CPU market, right? But as long as you can market it, kind of falling off though. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, as long as you can talk good, you're good to go. Although, yeah, some AMD, sometimes you watch some of the conferences, just absolute bull crap. Just like Nvidia with their big old AI could have cost you like $100,000 just for this here, just to put it in the thing where it's gonna cost you $1 million, and I can't even figure out what to say, but AI. That was basically the conference. Like it's gonna cost you this amount of money. It's the best. AI. It's kind of like that, like Trump. As long as you can sponsor yourself and pay other people to say good things about you that have good content or good viewers and all that, you're good to go. Well, I think a lot of people promote on like the NFL and that, especially the World Series. What do you want to call it? Like, it costs so much money to just get a 5-second ad, but there's so many people watching it that, oh, well, that person's up there, must be pretty good. The Super Bowl, thank you there, Joe. Again, I don't watch um, sports. I used to play them, like all of them. Nope, we will never have a 1080 Ti again, or the like the Titans that we had. It's all good. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you can correct me, man. No, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Just like the going over the PCs. And I was talking about the cereal. I was saying it's cereal. Oh, no, it's not cereal. That's the cereal. And then I look at the chat. It's like, aha, that's right. Yeah, I was wrong. Thank you for correcting me. Maybe in my head, but sometimes it takes a while to say. Might be the next day I go, oh, that was what I was thinking about. But I'll think about it. A good GPU for the price is what I'm saying. Good luck with that. I make one if the miners stop buying cards. Miners are not buying these new generation cards. They suck for mining. They cost too much money, and the ROI is just too high. I've already done the research on it. You want the older hardware. You still want the older hardware, like the 20 series. 20 series were pretty good. You can buy them really cheap right now, and then make your ROI time within 7 months. So you're making money after 7 months instead of these new cards will take you 4 to 5 years to pay off, and then you're making money after 4 or 5 years. So miners are not buying those cards. They're going more to the actual ASICs. People are buying the GPUs and that. They're buying the older GPUs, and then they're going to be selling them later on for very, very cheap, like the RX 580s. You can buy used RX 580s here in Canada for $50. The 8 gigabytes. That's why they use shitty hardware on board. Yep. People just gonna replace when it's cooked. Yep. Yep. You got it. And then that's why you got all these ginseng RX 580s, because they took all the chips, all the memory chips off of the boards and then put them onto new graphics cards with better cores, or not better, but newer cores. Or they'll take all the cores out of certain ones and they'll put it into a better board, or a fresh board, basically. Yep, that's a good price for that 3080. So I should be putting my old 2062. Yeah. it's the 6 gig. Nah, it'd be 2060 Super you're looking for. The 8 gig. 2060 is only a 6 gig. I mean, you can put it to work. Especially here in Canada, Bitcoin hit $100,000. So, I mean, if anybody was investing in the crypto, which is good to do if you watch the market on it, the stock market on the crypto, each one has a different stock market, so you don't have to spend that kind of money and then make money. So you mean they took parts from old generation into new generation cards? No, they took parts. So on Amazon, you'll see a lot of ginseng or jinsui or something like that. I'm not good at pronouncing that, but they took all the memory chips basically off of all the dead cord RX 580s, and they took all the memory chips off of them, and then they got cores from good cards, and they cut them all out and they put them on fresh PCBs. And then if you look, take apart the card, and 90% of the cards, the actual so you can laser etch off a layer of the memory chips, the VRAM memory chips off the chip itself. You can laser etch them all off, and then you can write your own new code onto it. But if you look, the color of the chip will be a little bit, it won't be dark anymore. It'll be like a grayish color. That's how you know it's lasered etched off and then re-etched on. Still old tech, but it's old hardware onto new cards that you're paying like 150, $200 for when you can just buy an old used one for the same for $50. But they're new cards, right? Same thing with like the Russians too. The Russians are crazy. They buy a ton of like old motherboards and they'll cut out the actual CPU sockets and stuff like that, reuse them, or like they'll cut them out, then they'll ship them off to somebody so that way they can reuse it and put it on something else, which is a smart thing to do. And then same thing with like laptop chips as well. They actually cut out the chips and then we'll put them into like new boards because that's what they did. Like the ones where you cannot actually do anything with the actual chip. I guess I make myself big here again. Yeah, I'm a big boy again. I got my big boy pants on. Yeah, it's cool what they do. But I mean, like, you gotta watch what you buy too. It's like how Intel had fake Intel chips on their 13th and 14th gen CPUs. They had fake ones. It's crazy. And if you had a fake one that you thought you bought was real one, you try to warranty it during this the degrading CPU thing, and they go, "Oh, this is not an Intel chip." What? Yeah, it's not. It's not an actual Intel chip. But it's also like the Intel warranty is only on boxed processors, not your tray processors. Intel wouldn't do the warranty. So if you try to go do the warranty through Intel, oh, there's a little code. Kind of looks like one of those QR codes on the chip. It will be different. That's how you know. Um, Give me one sec. I think it's right here. It's terrible. That's a terrible picture. Hold on. I find a better picture. That's a terrible one. That's a better one. There it is. Boom. So we'll go here. You can see over here. So this right here would be different than this one. See the way this one's done versus the way this one's done. It's the only way you can tell. Some of them too. This square boxed. Some of them had not a square boxed thing. It had a weird symbol, but it's this like QR code looking thing at the bottom. This one here has like it's like lightly done basically, and this one's like a full up done one for the real versus the fake. And that's how you know. No, they didn't clock the same. Oh no, I have a 13600K. No, it's not a fake IHS. It's literally a fake chip. It's not made from an actual factory, and like it might have been diffused from around the same location because there's a lot of CPU making like manufacturers. Like I said, TSMC, uh, yeah, TSMC is a big CPU manufacturer, Again, it's all about the lithography. So if you can figure out the lithography of that CPU and how it was actually made, like the architect and all that, you can make your own as long as you have the facility to do the same thing. So like there's multiple billion-dollar companies out there that can do that kind of thing. And you can easily fake whatever you want nowadays. Seriously. The right is the real right? No, the left was the right. The left one, the one with the really thick, and the other one with a like really like fine, not really like really dark lines and all that. It had like more of a dot pattern on the top. That is the fake one. Amazon generally had nope. The Amazon ones are generally real ones. A lot of people were getting the fake ones from the tray processors. That's why Intel didn't even want to do warranty on them at all because they're fake. A lot of them were fake. Like so, like from pre-builts and stuff like that, where people bought mass quantities of them that were not boxed, they were trays. So they bought trays of CPUs at a time, and they could have got a tray full of fakes, and they didn't even know because they clocked fairly similar, like very very similar, but they were not the same. Yeah, basically, yeah. And Intel got scammed by the motherboard manufacturers because Intel took the blame and like took full blame because they didn't even know what was going on, and now Intel found out. Yeah, yeah. A lot of them were put in pre-builts. Like a lot were put in pre-builts. Very, yeah, yeah. Well, the people buying them probably didn't even know they were fake until afterwards, but maybe they did, and they're just like, "Oh no, oh no, no, we did not know that that was a fake CPU, even though we bought thousands of them." Like, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Gotta give another shout out to my donators. Big, big old MX4 tube of, it's Arctic MX4, big old tube. Again, thank you, donators. This is gonna be really helpful for the competition. Already got the CPU all done up in it, so hopefully it works out good. Might redo the GTX 770 because the temperatures are really warm, even with my fairly decent homemade thermal paste, my own mix of thermal paste. But my mix usually is pretty good. How many more time? What do you mean? Oh, till the yeah. Oh, before the nah, I'm gonna be. Oh, not long. I'm gonna say around 7 hours. Give me one sec. I'm gonna say around 7 hours now. Competition. Oh, already there. Whoops, I misclicked. Oh, 6 hours, 53 minutes, 10 seconds. That's close. That's close. But 6 hours, 53 minutes, and 6 hours and 52 minutes and 59 seconds. Let's go! Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's go, Canada. Let's go, Canada. I know, I'm really thinking about getting 13900 KF. There's a used one on Amazon for very cheap, and it's really good condition, apparently. Like perfect condition, they say. So if that's the case, when it says like very good condition, it means it has the box and all that too. I won't buy anything without the box, especially that price. But it's pretty cheap, pretty cheap. I mean, it's like half the price I bought my 13900K at. Less than half actually. Last year around the same time. It's like $464, I think it is. The new ones are 500 and over 500. So getting that little bit more off, that $60 or whatever, or $70 off, and still get bucks, that's fine with me. That is fine with me. But all the ones that are like honestly on eBay and that are selling more than that price. So the Amazon one is cheaper still. And all the ones around my location to buy are nah. They're more expensive. I would like to get into new ones, but yeah, it's decent price. I had two. What? I don't know what you're trying to say there. I had two natty ice. I'm so pretty turnt. My 13 900 KF beats 14th gen 14 900Ks. One I had overclock beaten 14 900Ks. So all depends on what you know and how you know how to use it, right? Still know what you said there, Nick. I had two. Guess that's an American thing. Probably. I'm too Canadian for you Americans. Try to speak more like South Park. Let's see. What can I do here? Yeah, we just had Halloween. I just said Happy Halloween. Hope everyone had a good Halloween. Like, I don't know how many times this stream. Yeah, JK. Yeah. Sure. Do you even celebrate this? Yes. Yes, we do. I don't know what I want to do. I'm so ready for this competition, though. I do need to get a dual core CPU, though, or a motherboard where I can use my old dual core, but I'd rather use a new dual core CPU like the G6900. Should check out the prices of them, though. Amazon. There it is. There's the thermal paste I got. Again, thank you, everybody. We got it. Ooh. I guess I can put that. Oh. Guess I can put that up. Okay, that's fine. Because you can't see it because I'm blocking it. But right. Well. There's a K version. It's 549. Okay, well, I guess there's a easier way to look around too. Apparently not. Man, that's some expensive thermal paste. Yeah, it's not though. Now it's cheaper. Thermal Grizzly, 139 now. Last time I was checking, 179. 139 now. That's about the purchase, September 2022. Last time I purchased it, September 2022. 139 now. That sucks. It's still really expensive, but I'm gonna try. Like I said, I'm gonna try this Arctic if it can handle the temperature and work really good, like actual wicking away. Then I might even switch to it. Again, if you're listening, Arctic, sponsor me. Sponsor me. It's 13,900K exploding time. Trying to find the KF though. 13,900 KF. Last purchase, October 2023. It's a rough, rough life. 483. Okay, I thought it was cheaper, but save with used, like new, 483. But if it's like new, you get the box and all too. So it's 483 though. It's a little too high for my price range right now. The KS though, you can get it for 869. 13,700K. Nah, it's not good enough for what I need. 12,900K. S. Oh, KS is fine. 12,900K, 416. I wonder if you get that cheaper used. 399 used, like new. Not much cheaper. Yeah. I forgot where I put my box, so it's probably outside my thermal paste. Thermal Grizzly Extreme Cryonaut. I've already bought it before. It's really good stuff. For $139. For 33.8 grams or something like that. If you use it, does only work in extreme situations. No, it's on my 3070 Ti. Works. It's really good for wicking away because it has that diamond grit like I have in my my thermal paste that I use or make. Like I said, that it uses about 70,000, 80,000 grit for thermal grizzly, which I like to use right around the 70,000, 80,000 grit as well. No, it's really good for everyday use as well. Like, really good. Yeah, it's crazy, eh? Because the CPU degrading, right? But yeah, there's motherboards that was causing it. Going into a separate parameter. I called it way back too. I did call it way back. Nah, it works in all conditions, thermal grizzly. There's only some thermal paste that work below sub-zero. Some thermal paste don't even like to go sub-zero. You can't even use it sub-zero. Like, you have to stay around 10 degrees or higher. Same thing with like liquid metal. You have to be above 10 degrees or else the liquid metal will harden and cause a dry spot and burn out your CPU or GPU. Depends on what you use it on. Yep. It's crazy the prices of things. It really is. That's why I like grabbing my old hardware used. Because even if it's broken like this, I'll fix it up. Get off, moth. Yep, absolutely insane. So this I got for 200, which was a really good buy. You can't even pick the 12600K up for 200 anymore. Like 250. 8700K I picked up for, I think it was like $50 with the box. Really good buy. And then my i9 1300 KF, I paid full price, like 800 and something for it. Right when, yeah, like pretty good. It was, I don't know. AMD got greedy. I even called that way back too. Like if more and more people are starting to hate on Intel and all that, AMD's price is going to go up. If Intel ever fails or stops selling box processors to us people, to us consumers, and just went to their big hardware or like data centers and that like for their investors, we're screwed. AMD will keep raising their price. And guess what? Intel never went anywhere. They dropped a couple percent in stocks, but they still own majority of the CPU market still. But AMD automatically raised their price of like $200 of all their CPUs and GPUs just because of that. So that sucks. Really sucks. Yeah, well, sometimes when you got the best always, then your prices could be higher, like Nvidia, right? Yup. Really sucks. Yeah. EVGA XR1 Pro. Used it on yesterday's stream. Worked pretty good. I was actually really happy with it. Did not take long to set up. Latency on the audio too. No problem. No latency problems. Did take a bit to tune it, but pretty good. Yo, yo. What up, Joe? What is up, Joe? Oh, I didn't even notice. Wonder how he's gonna do this year. It's got so he's like paid off a lot of high content creators and we want to call them influencers to promote himself basically. So I don't know. Probably will do good. It's more funny, so they got him. Nah, they got my vote. I hope. Yeah, there's a lot of things I hope for our country too, and it's not for the same one here. Is there anything else I gotta do before the competition? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ooh. Like, let's be real. I don't like both sides supporters. I don't like Camille. So easy choice, he says. That's an easy choice. There we go. Oh. I'm not voting for anybody. Like, I'm not American. I am Canadian. I don't care about you Americans. You filthy, filthy Americans. I'm joking, of course. I already said this in another stream, though. I would definitely vote for Trump. Just because, yeah. Joe, wow. So offended. You hurt my feelings. Stop making me cry. I'm voting for Camilla now. I don't think that's gonna help her anyways. You can go do that. I don't care. So I already talked about AMD on the one stream. I already talked about the 18 and 20A for Intel. I already got everything. I tell you though, my phone be blown up with go vote spam. Oh really? Wow. We already did some shorts today for the PC. The shorts are actually going pretty good for views. I didn't think that'd happen, but it's alright. It's relentless. Tomorrow's supposed to get fairly chilly, I'm hoping. No, I have to do something tomorrow. I got a lot of walking to do. Gotta go into town. Yeah. I wish I could, but can't. Plus, it's not really cold enough for me even trying. Like, I want to make sure I get some decent scores. That way I don't waste hydro, basically, too. Eight core, 12 and 16. Definitely the 9950X is gonna beat the 16. It's gonna be the winner probably, I think. Up to 10 monitors. What? What are we talking about? 10 monitors? What? 10 monitors. Resume. Just say resume. Thank you. 10 monitors. What? Ooh, 1080 Ti and a. So the 3080. It's a lot of monitors. I'm over here. Ooh. Thank you. Oh, it's doing it again. I'm down here. There we go. Just need to stand a little bit. Oops. I should check. 0 frames dropped this whole stream. It's awesome. Awesome. Ah, gotcha. MSI has always been pretty good for their hardware. It's not much going on though. For like any more news about PC stuff. Just the upcoming AMD Ryzen 7 95 or 9800X 3D, November 6th at 6 a.m. releases. That's the only thing really, like I said. And then with TSMC taking over for Intel, making its CPUs, I mean, that's good. Apparently, Gamers Nexus is doing a whole bunch of coolers. Good for you. There's not much going on. Guess that's what happens, eh? Not a whole lot going on. I don't know. Should call a stream though. Get some sleep before I have to walk. Should be a lot of walking tomorrow. Hooray. And I got the competition. I gotta be ready for it. I gotta set up my streaming too, so I have to set up another computer for it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use my i7 3770K for it. I might set it up for that. I have to figure out where my air cooler hardware is. Maybe put an air cooler on it. What? What, i7 3770K? Yeah, mine's delidded. CPU die has been lapped. IHS has been lapped both sides. Yep, it's very nice. I've got mine up to 5.1 gigahertz so far. Decent temperatures, like 57 degrees Celsius. As long as I got it on fairly cool water. Yeah, not a lot of people will do a lot. I bought mine broken, had to fix up one of the SMTs on the back of it. You can still overclock the 3070s with the Z motherboards or with BCLK, but you just gotta be careful doing it. Yeah, they're still great CPUs. 4-core 8 thread. I need to get a 4770K or 4790K. I would like a 4790K, but the prices are just too high still for them. That way I can overclock my RAM even more. I have only gotten my RAM, my 1066 megahertz RAM kit that I have, the Samsung there. Yeah, i7s are great. The older i7s are great. Before the i9s came out with the i9 9900K, it was great. Really was. Yep, I got the i7 2600 as well. Pretty sure I got a record on it. I overclocked it with my Z 77 Sabertooth board. Very nice to overclock. With uh, BCLK though, you gotta be careful. Yep, I did overclock it to 4.3 gigahertz, I think. Like it was 4.3 or 4.2. I'm pretty sure it's close to 4.3 gigahertz though for the i7 2600. Again, 4-core 8 thread. That's in my NAS that I wanted to build up, but again, I need more money to build up some NASs. I need more hard drives is what I really need. Did I get a record on it? Not sure if I did. Nah, third place. Yeah, I got up to 4.3 gigahertz. I don't know if you can... Oh, no, you won't be able to see it there. There. Right here. 1875 marks, Intel Core i7 2600, 4.3 gigahertz. About 4.3. 4.29. Then that was my third place on it. 7-zip. Same thing. Couldn't get it hot though. It was on a custom water loop. And then I lapped the actual cooler, which is a Corsair XC5 cooler or something like that. Lapped it as well. But yeah. My i5 2400. Got it up to just over 4 gigahertz, almost 4.1. So not bad either. Yeah, it's gotta be careful while doing it. That's all. Yep, BCLK. What was it at? What was my BCLK? 106. Yeah, 106. Almost 107 bus speed. Memory's pretty good. This was what? Last year? Yep. December 28th. 33 degrees on load for 4 gigahertz. Yep. Then I got my X5570. I got a record on it, but I've only done one test. Boom. Almost 4.2, 69 on load. But yeah, that would be one of the giveaway CPUs. It's an X5570, 4-core, 8-thread. Very awesome chip to overclock. It's very awesome overclock, especially if you want to get into it. You can buy yourself a nice cheap motherboard for LJ1366. You can pick up a decent overclocking one for about $100. Oh, and I got 21st apparently on this one. 3.2, so no real overclock on it. As is a tester basically for RAM, I think it was. Yeah, for RAM CL999 at about 1300 megahertz from my 1066 standard. It's just a try. What's the best DDR3 to OC? Best DDR3, Samsung. Samsung. I think it's D-die. I think it's the D-die that I have, but not the ones that are 1066. They're the RAM kit you're looking for that I know of that are the best are Corsair Vengeance 2400 megahertz kit. And yeah, they'll be Samsung chips. I always gave builds to friends, but I don't think they appreciate the setups like I do. Probably not, man. Yeah, probably not. I was using 12 gigs. I was just on a triple chan, 4 gig sticks. And what I can do with my sticks, like I said before in other streams, is there's a program you can use. You put in your RAM into your PC, and if as long as you have dual-sided, so DS, dual-sided, dual rank, DD, so dual-sided, dual rank RAM sticks, you can take out the dual rank out of them. It takes away half the RAM itself, so the 4 gigs will turn into a 2 gigs, but those you can overclock them more by doing it. There's a program you can use. I don't want to do it, but the Corsair Vengeance are Corsair Vengeance. Right here. That's Amazon.com. Canada, it's way more. These are the sticks that you want. The red, 1.65 volt. You can, the voltage you'll be using to overclock them at for over 3000 megahertz. It's like 1.8. And then you want close to 4000. It's like 1.96 volts. Or some of them 2 volts, which crazy. But yeah, that's the kit that you're looking for. It's one of the best ones. Also, ADATA has a good set as well, but they're rare sticks to buy, and good luck trying to find them. You'll be spending $400 or $500 just for some DDR sticks. Yep, the RAM with the big heat sinks. Yep, they were the best. Corsair has always been fairly good for being on top. G-Skill is more of a name brand due to the fact that they they sponsor people a lot of times. Corsair, I'd like to get into being sponsored, but Corsair's a very hard company to get sponsored by. So I'm gonna keep trying though. I'll keep throwing in, and then I'll keep trying to make um, my stupid videos of I do this on my channel, I do this on my channel, I got this many subscribers, it's not much, but we're doing better kind of thing, and then you gotta send in a video, we gotta show all these, like, what you know kind of thing too, and it's like, oh, well, I'm this kind of placement in Canada, but just because I'm placing this for here in Canada, technically I'm 5th place overall, I'm 1st place in my division, but I'm basically crap compared to everybody else because I don't have enough hardware, I don't have enough this and that, so it's really hard to come up with like a I'm better than everybody else, so sponsor me kind of thing. And I'm not that kind of person. I'm not better than anybody else. I know where I sit, so it's not easy. It's really not easy. Not easy, man. And I like RAM overclocking, so I would like to be with Corsair. G Skill, I guess I could try G Skill, but I don't know. I would only agree to certain contracts, basically. Like, I'm not going to be going out and saying, well, this is the best kit you can buy, and, all this and that. I'd just be like, yep, this is the RAM kit that I got. Let's go overclock it kind of thing and see how far we can get it to. And then if it does good, I'll be like, it works pretty good, to be honest. Here's my link. I make this much off of each time somebody buys it, so buy as many as you can because I need the money. Maybe. Yeah, I've already sent it out like 6 times now to Corsair, so I don't know, man. It's you gotta have like I think it's cool. What they're really looking for is like 30,000 plus subscribers and something like 1 million plus views. I'm not even. I'm literally like a percentage of that right now, like one or 2% right now. Have what they want. Low price RAM would usually have bad timing. No, no. My Patriot Vipers are very cheap in their Samsung B die by DDR4. And you can pick them, the CL19 4000 kits, up for like 70 or $100, not even, for 16 gigs of DDR4. Right here. Last time I purchased was November 20th, 2022, and this is how you know you'll have Samsung B-Die. Whoops, I gotta just do this. Meow. Oh, wrong one. Meow. I should do this, that way I can hide a dress. But yeah, here. Samsung Patriot Viper. So Patriot, not Samsung. Samsung, these are Samsung B-Die DDR4. So these are Patriot Viper Steel DDR4 16 gigabyte 4000 megahertz kits. C9. It's CL19. Not C. It's not CL9. They're CL19. But yep, that's how you know. Like, you can pick these up for. It says currently unavailable because a lot of people are buying them because they know they are Samsung B-Die. Samsung B-Die, you can put up to like 1.5 or 1.6 volts into them, get them overclocked to like 6,000 megahertz. That's why I wanted a better board to overclock DDR4 on instead of using that piece of crap Phantom gaming board. by ASRock. I thought it was good, so I bought 2 of them. I was just stupid. Right here's the timing. This is the timings, 1919, 1939. But yeah, boom. That is how you know. Yeah, no, but back when DDR5 came out, yeah, no, back when DDR5 came out, everything was too new. It was too new. So, Micron was out there and Samsung was out there. Hynix, or not no, sorry. Samsung, Hynix, and Micron went out there. Samsung went into the servers. Hynix and Micron came out to the public first. There are Samsung that you can buy, but I mean, they're crap compared to the Hynix M die or A die, so what's the point? Micron doesn't overclock very well, as in frequency and timing, so no point. You can get down the TRFC very, very low, but just TRFC low is not going to help you. It will help you, but it's not going to help you for overclocking hard. Those giga boards and data for I tried a couple sticks of 4,000 and never booted at. Yeah, see, I had a cheap crap motherboard. I'm just so good at overclocking. I got them up to 42 or 44 megahertz. It's a lot of time, man. I spent so much time and money and a lot of time and yeah. What did I get on them? Memory. Prime 2B. DDR4. This is just 4,000 on it. Oop, 4,000 memory frequency. I got yeah, 4,400 megahertz on a absolute trash board. Trash. Your trash board. i7 8700K, so I didn't even need a really good CPU. Got them up to 4,400. So yeah, just spent a lot of time. With 1,200, yeah, see, yeah, 1,200K. I used the i7 8700K with a motherboard where I can only put the RAM and CPU up to 1.35 volts. Maybe Oris Elite is the low tier of the board. I don't know. I don't think the Elites are the lowest part, but I could be wrong. I picked up 2 of them for 180. They were $90 a piece. Not even on sale. They're the ASRock Phantom Gaming 4S Wi-Fi. Or sorry, 4S-AC. Yeah, they're very cheap, but you can only go to the RAM with 1.35 volts, like I said. And you had to enable the XMP to get that voltage. If you tried to manually tune the voltage, you can only go up to 1.3 volts. The Elite AX, DDR4 AX, and you couldn't update the BIOS. You can't update the BIOS on those boards, which really sucks because they're like a offset of ASRock Phantom gaming boards where you couldn't even do it. The Elite Z69s, you don't try them both. They were sold around. Yeah, they're not cheap. I can get a pair for $20. Yeah. I seriously bought 2 of them because I was like, man, that's a good deal. I really would like a DDR4 board because I got this 8700K because it was a good buy as well. Oh, what'd you say? Oh, the E5 2630? Sure. V2, I would go after a V3, but V2 is okay. I can get them from, yeah, at some point. What, you want me to... ASRock Phantom Gaming 4S-AC is trash. Yeah, you can do anything with anything. I overclock Xeons. That's a Xeon, isn't that? E5, 26. What are they, 30s, you said? Yeah, ass rock. Um, Yep, V2, no, not V4. I said the V3 or V4 would probably be the better versions, but yeah, the Xeons. I thought they were Xeons. Yeah, of course they're the Xeons. Yeah, I mean, 3 point. Recommended customer price $612. Yeah, not anymore. 6 core, 12 threads, so it should perform around my X5650 if if you've ever watched those or you want me to search that up. But it should perform around like my X5650. TDP of 80 watt. Let me check hardware bot. I don't know if you can overclock them. E5 2630 V2. Nah, can't. Yeah, I'm up to 3.3 gigahertz. That's all you can do. You can't do much with them, man. Can't do much with them. Yeah, you have to do bus speed. Yeah, you can't do much with them. You can get them up to 3.3 gigahertz. That's it. Nah, if you could overclock them, they'll be like my X5650, which is another 6 core 12 thread around 3 gigahertz. The E5 2630 V2 there, it was a 3.1 gigahertz boost. Something like 2 or 2.3 or 2.1 gigahertz standard. You can get them up to 3.3 max. Like that's the record 3.3 gigahertz on them. Terrible. Not terrible. And that's with 113 BCLK overclock. So that is terrible. I would suggest getting, if you can find for good prices, X5650 or X5690. If you can find X5690s for less than $60 a piece and you get two of them, woo-wee. Just putting them in a server and not even overclocking them, they'll be great. But if you want to overclock them, those are some CPUs that want to overclock. They're really expensive, though, compared to the other ones. The X5650, though, the one Xeon that I am giving away, I don't know if Hart will probably know if he's actually, if he's still here. If he I'm pretty sure he knows. So my 13600K is a fake, huh? No, no, probably maybe, maybe. But yeah. So X5570. Does anyone know the price of this CPU when it came out? Xeon X5570 LGA 1366. How much did this CPU that I'll be giving away for free in one of my streams, how much was it? No. More. It's a 4-core 8-thread CPU. This one was made in Costa Rica. Nope. More. 2.93 gigahertz CPU. Not very good. For US, still be more than that. More than 1100. More. US it'd probably be around 1300. Canadian is just about $1,600 CPU, but you could find them for about 1400. 2300. Sold. Yeah, they were really expensive CPUs when they came out. And it's only a 4-core 8-thread CPU, 2.9 gigahertz. Xeon. Yeah, they were crazy price. The cheapest board in DDR5 you can get that really good because I've built a couple PCs with them, and ASRock B760 Pro did Wi-Fi for any 12, 13, or 14 CPUs work very well with i9s, and it's about 150. I don't go after cheap boards, man. I have my motherboard was $1,000 when it came out. And the B series suck. You can't overclock very well on them. They're terrible. Throw it in the trash. My fake. It would probably be fairly close to performance of a regular CPU, to be honest, there, Nick. And for anyone that want a game, yeah, well, I mean, if you want something that's cheap, somewhat reliable, then I would go after MSI. Because then you can get a cheap MSI and it would technically be better. Because ASRock was really good. Not unless you want to get ASRock's expensive stuff, right? Yeah, and it works. MSI, all their boards work very well. You can get cheap Z series, like cheap Z series for that $150 or $120 range, Canadian. So even probably cheaper for you Americans. But ASRock, the Tai Chis are only ones you would want to be looking at for ASRock, and shoot, the Tai Chis are like the Apex, absolutely insane prices. Man, I gotta be going to bed though. It's 2 a.m. now. Freaking 2 a.m. Yeah. Thank you all for joining my stream, by the way. Always nice to have everyone here, especially you, Hart. Always here. Joe, you're being one of those regulars. Quite nice seeing you every time. Yeah, I am pretty tired, man. Been up fairly early. Had a late stream last night, too. Yeah, man. You got it. And you know it. I don't even have to put my big boy pants on. I already got my big boy pants on. So, as always, everyone, thanks for watching. And don't forget to get her done.